Hey guys, what do you think about having choices? It's good, right? So, why aren't we giving our kids choices? Well, this is going to show you a way to do that in a virtual classroom for digital learners. We're talking about Google Choice Boards with Google Slides. I'm going to give you an example of one that I created, and then I'm going to show you how to build one. So, this is a choice board that I created for International Talk Like a Pirate Day, just a subject that we were just kind of talking about in class so that my students could interact with choice boards. It's a fun theme, and it allowed them to get sort of an in-depth view of how choice boards work and will work in the future when we dive in to some actual classroom discussions. So first and foremost, this is my cover page. I made a couple of Bitmojis. I use a Bitmoji classroom, so you have me swashbuckling, swinging on the yard arms, if you will, in the back. And then, that's also me watching myself on the big screen. Who wouldn't want to watch themselves be a big star? Yeah. So if we continue forward, the first thing that I've created is an instructions page because I think that that's important. And it just kind of tells them what they need to do. And the choice board then comes next. The instructions are going to tell them to pick three cards or three maps, and they have to pick different colored maps. So, for example, they can't choose both white maps or both tan maps. They can't pick a white map and then two tan maps. They have to pick one of each. So they have to pick a white map, a tan map, and a brown map. And that's how I kind of separated it here. So you can see that Google Slides works for us in an interesting way. We are allowed to make choice boards because you can do two things. You can do internal links and external links. I'll show you the examples of both. For right now, though, we're working with internal links. That means links that I've created within the slide presentation itself, and I'll show you how to do that. For example, if you click on the first link, it takes you to another slide within the slideshow presentation that is an answer slide. And I've also given my students the opportunity to go back to the choice board by clicking this gold doubloon. So when they click the doubloon, it takes them back to the choice board, and they can progress that way over and over again through the choice board. So first of all, the white cards say finish the pirate riddle. So that's one of their choices. They have their choice of two riddles, and they could choose which one they want to complete. And then the tan choice maps allows them to select a math problem. But they have their choice between two math problems, and since it's Pirate Day, we're solving for X. So X marks the spot. Just some, writing across the curriculum, if you will. So they're going to solve 5x minus 5 equals 15. Just easy stuff to get them interested in how these choice boards work. And again, X marks the spot, so solve for X. And they have to come up with an answer for that. And then the brown cards, these are the harder cards. These are or harder maps. These are more interesting as well. They're actually the external linked maps. So when they click on one of the brown cards or maps, it takes them to this answer map that says use a website called the Pirate Ship to find your answer. So when they click on that, it actually takes them to a website called the Pirate Ship, and they're able to navigate then to do a little bit of research to find the answer to the question that I asked. So, for example, if they want to know about scurvy, then they would have clicked on the scurvy facts and done some research just to kind of show, give them the answer for that. And they can click back and navigate through the choice boards. And, once they do that, I also included, these are all linked internally, so it takes them where they need to go. But they also know from discussions that they have to add their names at the end because I took them into Zoom breakout rooms and they had some collaborative discussions. And that also takes them back to the choice card. So then we go to the exit button down on the toolbar. And the way that students edit these is they would take their particular cards and they would find the appropriate slide where they would add a text box, give me an answer, and then either share that or send it back to me in a Google Classroom assignment. So pretty much they're getting choices for what they want to complete in my class through Google Choice Boards. So this is just an example that I created. It was a really quick, easy example with a theme. So you can do that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of walk you through a new presentation. So I'm going to open that up, and I have a bunch of tabs open, I know, but that's because we were doing some pirate stuff, and I think I opened the pirate ship website about 100 times today. Okay, so we're on a blank presentation, and what we're going to be able to do is edit this slideshow presentation. So we're just going to call this sample, and we can get rid of any of these themes, or you can select a theme if you want to. It's up to you. And I open the presentation. There's always text boxes on here when you open the presentation. I just like to get rid of those. Just delete those, because I want to add my own stuff. Okay, so we're starting with blank canvas, and this is what you do. The very first thing that you're going to do, probably add an instruction slide, but you can do that later if you want to as well. Let's talk about how to add your boxes or your cards so that you can link your slides to be able to give them choices. The first thing you're going to want to do is insert shapes. So you can add squares or cards. I like to add sort of the rounded things. It depends on what you want to do. Let's go with this one. So here we have a card, and it gives us a color for that. And we can add more cards. It depends upon how many choices you want to give your students. Here's a card. So the number of choices, and then you can start to put these where you want to on your screen. And you can use your crosshairs to line them up, make it look nice and neat. Okay, so we have sort of 4 choices. You can make these bigger, like if I wanted to put this down at the bottom, make that bigger, put that one up the top, make that bigger, line it up, bring this over. Actually, you know what? Let's bring that way. Okay, and we'll bring this one this way, and we'll sort of meet in the middle. Okay, so that means we want to bring this one down this way. Line them up, and then we'll bring this one this way. Bring that up a little bit, and bring this one down a little bit. Okay, so you start to get sort of a neat view, and you can change these if you don't like the layout of them, obviously. So this is the start of your choice board. Now you can start to put different information in these cards. So what I want to do is I want to add a new slide. Get rid of any of the text features on there, because I'm not sure what I want to add to these yet. I just like to start with a blank slate. You can use those text boxes if they fit what you need. So I want to add, actually, you know what? I want to undo that, because I want to take this one and I'm going to duplicate that because I've already done the work by getting rid of the text boxes. I need 4 new slides because I have 4 options on my choice board. Okay, so your 4 new slides then, they're going to link your choice board slide. Now, you can color code these if you want to. You can go in and you can change the shape if you want to. Okay, that one looks kind of good. You can go in and you can change the color so that you can better code your slides so students can navigate them better. You can select fill, and you just give these whatever color you want. I like to mute the tones a little bit so that it's not so overwhelming to the eye. But you can go in and you can add sort of a muted couple of colors. We're going to do 4 different colors so students can access this information. All right, so we've got sort of a mauve, blue, a yellow, and a green. And then you're going to want to start to link your slides. So whatever information that you put in these boxes depends upon how you're going to link your slides. So let's do text box for this slide. And you can pick any kind of text font that you want. You can go to extensive fonts and get even more text fonts for Google Slides or for any Google add-on if you want to look in the add-ons portion here. But I'm just going to use default fonts here. So we'll just do a regular font. We're going to change the size. Text for link 1. Okay. We can copy these text boxes before we add any links to them, and we can just add text boxes in there. Take it over here. Now, again, this is before you add links. Otherwise, the links go with the copy and pasted text boxes. So we just want to add all 4 text boxes. So now we have text for each link, and we haven't linked them yet, but what you can do is you can add your text boxes. I like to copy and paste so that I keep the colors and the shape so students understand what it is that they're doing. So this is the first link. I'm going to go to the first slide, and I'm simply going to paste that text box, but I'm going to make it bigger so that it fills up the entire slide. Same thing for the second one. I'm going to click the text box. I'm going to click the shape. I'm sorry, not the text box. And I'm going to copy, and I'm going to go to the next one, and I'm going to paste that in. Now again, this is just a simple choice board creation. The one I showed you was a little more interactive and had a little more imagery added to it. It was connected to a theme, and you can do that. This one's basic, so I figure if you can start basic, you can build on what you learned. So we're going to add another one. This is, again, same formatting for the color and the shape. So I'm copy and pasting just to make it easy for the kids so that they see, number 1, a color, and number 2, a shape, and they can associate that with the information they're adding, because you want them to add the correct information or access the appropriate text or question or prompt, or you want them to answer on the correct slide, and so forth and so on. So now what you can do is you can start to link your slides. So what I like to do, though, is I like to give them an opportunity to go back. So we're going to go ahead and insert that, and we can copy and paste that as well. So I'm going to add a text box, and just somewhere on the screen, I'm going to say back. So you can make that big enough so that they can see it, and bold enough so that they can see it, perhaps. So that if they click on that, it takes them back to the first slide. So I'm going to want to link this. So that's the first thing I'm going to show you how to link, because it links everything back to the choice board. So let me show you how that works. So first and foremost, you're going to highlight your text. What that does is it allows you to add a link. So here's the link menu, or the link bar, link button. When you click on anything on your slide, you can link it. So I'm going to push the button, and it's going to open up this little dialog box that allows me to talk to the program. And it's going to say paste a link. So you can add an external link if you want to link to a web page, or you can add an internal link, which is what we're doing now. So the internal link is going to be slide 1. You can understand that because there's a number 1 here. So we're going to link this word to slide 1, and we're going to click apply. Now what that does is it created a link. So I'm going to copy this. Now what I'm doing is I'm copying the entire formatting of this particular text box. I want to copy, and I want to go to every individual slide, and I want to paste. Okay, so you just right click, paste. You don't want to select anything. You want to make sure nothing is selected. So I'm just going to click in the white section down here and click paste. And what that does is it adds that to every slide in the same format that you had on the original slide from where you copied it. So now I have just linked slides, guys. And what this does, it's going to allow every slide to be able to go back to the original choice board. So if you have them select 3 things to do or 2 things to do, they're going to be able to work on that, plus go back and view their original. So now I have texts that I have to link. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to want to type some sort of task in this box. So you're just going to add task 1, and let's make that bigger. Now we haven't linked any of these things, so I'm probably going to use my formatting here, and I'm going to make this big enough so at least you guys can see it. Let's do 100. Okay, so I'm going to link this. I'm going to copy, and I'm just going to go down through here, and I'm just going to paste. Okay, so now I can go back to each of my individual slides, and I can change that from task 1 to task 2, and task 3, and task 4 accordingly. Okay, and then on my choice board, you can change those accordingly as well. You might say link for task 1. That may help you guys understand a little better. So I should have copied and pasted that terminology. And we're going to make this task 3. We're going to make this one blue is task 2. As you can see over here in my slide view, in my film roll view for Google Slides, task 2 is blue. So that's what I changed it to. And finally, link for task 4. Green is 4, so that's right. The mauve is 1, blue is 2, the yellow is 3, and the green is 4. So those line up perfectly. Good deal. Okay, so now what do you do? In order to get this to work, now you're going to want to add some more internal links. And I'm going to choose the word link this time. And now for this slide, for this color, I want to use the same color slide that I want my students to go to for task 1. So this slide in my view is slide 2. So I want to click link in my little paperclip for link, and I want to go to slides in this presentation, and I want to select slide 2, apply. And I want to do the same thing for every recurring slide. For every other slide, I want to link the appropriate slide in the choice board. So if your choice board says link for task 2, I want to find task 2 and I want to link that to my choice board by selecting that slide. So this is slide 3. So when I select my link, I want to go down to slides in presentation, slide 3, apply. Same thing. Same thing here. I want to go down to link, or up to link, sorry. And I want to click slides in presentation. This is slide 4, so I have to scroll down and select slide 4, apply. And finally, this one is going to be slide 5. So I'm going to link to slide 5 and apply. Okay, so basically, you are finished creating your choice board. I'll show you how that works. This is a basic choice board. So you have your link for task 1, link for task 2, link for task 3, link for task 4, and you have each individual task. So let's see how it works. When I go into presentation mode, it's going to pull up for the students a presentation view. They're going to see the choice board, and you're going to already have expressed to them what kind of instructions you want to lay out for the day, whether they have to select 2 of them or 1 of them, pick 3 of them, whatever you want. But whatever you do, and when they do that, it actually takes them where you wanted them to go. So let's say they're going to select task 1 and task 4. Okay, they get to pick 2 of the 4. So when you click, or when they click, the link for task 1, it takes them to task 1. Now what do they do? Well, you've already added a back button. So when you click back, it takes them back to the choice board, and they're now able to select the next task, which is task 4. So that's the next one that they chose. You click that, they're able to select that task. And now it tells them what to do. So they go and they do that. When they want to generate an answer, they're going to go back, and then they may go to the exit mode, which will bring them up to the slide editing view. So when you make a copy for them in Google Classroom, for example, and they have this available to them to edit, they're going to be able to go in to their task, and they're going to be able to add a text box and give you an answer. And then they're going to be able to go into the next task, add a text box, and give you an answer. And then that will save automatically. They can rename it up here. I would imagine that you would want to rename it too. This could be sample choice board. Okay, and then when they go to turn it in, that's what they look for. And then over here on the right side somewhere, they'll click turn in, and it comes back to you completed as a choice board. Or you can have other options for their choices. Maybe you have a notebook that you want them to write in. Maybe you have notes that you want them to take. Maybe you have a video that you want them to do. Either way, they're getting their choices and they're finishing their work.